Good morning, all. Today, I'm starting fourth unit, that is project management. So, in this project management, the main topics are PERT and CPM. Suppose if you are handle a project, suppose it is a software project or whether it is a suppose some construction related or suppose for CSC there is a software project and suppose civil people construction project or suppose some triple E students suppose for triple E students there is a power project, so like this power plant or power projects or something like this, and ECE for there is some electronic project, okay, based on some suppose their related project. So everybody suppose in engineering everybody must do the project, okay. So suppose if you are a final year students uh, all the students are must do any type of project, suppose based on your branch. So everybody must do the project. So how to manage this project? Suppose if you are only taking the small projects, not a big project, suppose there is a huge project. Suppose if you are after you are getting a job, then uh, you will be placed in some team. Then for your team they are giving some project. So there are 5 members or 10 members, depend upon the size of the project. They're allocating the resources. So how to manage this project? Suppose every company is always try to complete as early as possible. Okay, the project as early as possible because they are getting the more revenue. Okay, so what is the condition is, suppose they are giving some time frame. Suppose the client gives some time frame. Suppose the 30 days or 40 days, they are giving some time. So they are giving some opportunity to the company. So suppose if you are completing before 30 days, we are giving some additional amount, some extra amount to you. Pay, we have to pay because they are more benefit. Suppose they are benefited. Suppose the project is completed before the given time, then they both are benefited. Suppose you are also benefited and also they are also benefited. Okay, so because the product is available earlier, then suppose there suppose if you are not completing within that, suppose if you are taking some extra days, suppose 10 or 5 days, then they are give, suppose they are not giving the complete money, so they suppose they are getting some 10% or 5% of your project money. So this is loss to management. Okay, so they put some conditions like this. So based on this, so first you have to know the exact time what the project is completed. Okay, so you have to know the exact time of the project completion. Then after that you have to take that offer. So then first you have to aware about how many days it will take and how much time it will take. You have to know exactly. That is very important thing. So through these techniques, then you have to know these things. And also PET means project evaluation and review technique, and CPM means critical path method. So in with this critical path method, suppose you have to reduce the time maximum. Suppose if you are finding sometimes suppose 12 days is the maximum time to complete this task, then how many chances are to complete this project before 12 days? That means some 8 days or 10 days, whether it is possible or not. So how many days you have to reduce to complete this task? That is CPM. So but without any effect of the project cost, that is also very important. Suppose if you are decreasing the days, then ultimately you have to raise the manpower, and also you have to get the additional resources. You have to require the additional resources. So for that purpose, you have to put some more money to project, then it is lost to the organization. So that's why you have to consider the days also important, and also the cost is also very important, because the variance is very different, very little bit uh, deviation is there. Then you have to follow. Then you have to use this method. Otherwise, if suppose is there any additional increment, more and more increment of the project cost, then you have to uh, you don't take that opportunity. That means CPM. Okay, so that is main concept behind the PET and CPM. So now first we have to see about the network analysis. So what is the meaning of network analysis? So right evaluation revenue technique means you have to construct a network for both of them, CPM or PET and CPM. You have to construct a network diagram. So it is called as a network technique. So PET and CPM are called as network technique. So network analysis, it is refers to a number of techniques for the planning and control of complex projects. Suppose if you are suppose if you are taking on complex projects, so you have a planning and control on that. For that purpose, you have to use this network analysis techniques. So the basics of network planning is the representation of sequential relations between activities by means of a network of lines and circuits. Okay, so the basis of network planning is it is that the total activities in the project or that mm, program. So then you have to arrange them in a sequential order, and also you have to maintain the sequential relationships between the activities with the network lines and circuits. So the activities are with represented with circles. So suppose events are represented with the circles and activities are represented with the arrows. Okay, so in coming classes you have to know this. Then the ideas is to link the various activities in such a way that the overall time spent on the project is kept to a minimum. Okay, so the idea is to link the various activities. Okay, so you have an idea to link the activities, various activities in such a way that the overall time spent on the project is kept to a minimum. Okay, suppose you are linking the various activities in such a way, ultimately the time will spent on the overall time spent on the project is also minimum. Okay, so when you are connecting the activities with a proper relationship, then it gives what is the benefit is, then you have to complete the task or project with a minimum time. Okay, that is the advantage of this network analysis. Then next one is features of network analysis. Okay, so features of network analysis. So what are the features of network analysis is logical base of planning. So first one is logical base of planning. Okay, so logical base of planning means network analysis is highly applicable at several stages of project management, right from early planning stage of selecting right option from various alternative to scheduling stage and operational stage. Okay, so first one is logical base of planning. So it is a logical base of planning. Network analysis is a logical base of planning. So it is highly applicable at several stages of project management, right from early planning stage to selecting right option from various alternatives to scheduling stage. So from the starting point to alternatives, suppose you have to selecting the alternatives and up to scheduling stage, you have to use this network analysis. Okay, then after that, simple in nature. So next one is simple in nature. So simple in nature means it is very simple. You are easily understand. So network analysis is straightforward in concept and can be easily explained to any layman. So it is very easy and also easily understand by any other person. So data calculations are simple and for large projects, computers can be used. Suppose if you are taking a simple project, then the calculations are done by manual. Otherwise, you have to take a large project, then you have to use the computer. There is a software for this. Then you have to utilize this software. Then you have to construct a network diagram and are getting the results very easily through software. Then improves coordination and communication. After that, there is a improve coordination and communication. That is also important point. Then the graphs generated out of network analysis display simply and direct way the complex nature of various subdivisions of project may quickly perceive from the graph. Okay, so the graphs generated out of network analysis display simply and direct way the complex nature of various subdivisions of projects may quickly pursue from the graph. Then means then you have to construct a graph. Then you have to analyze each and everything and also various subdivisions in the project. Then you have to quickly pursue from the graph. Okay. So then after that, wider application. So next feature is wider application. So wider application means the network analysis is applied to many types of projects. So this is applicable so many types of projects. Moreover, they may be applied at several levels within a given project from a single department working on a subsystem to multi-plant operations within corporation. Okay. So moreover, they may be applied at several levels, and also this is also applied at several levels within a given project from a single department. Okay, so from a single department working on a subsystem to multi-plant operations within corporation. So this is also used for a single department and also multi-plant operations. Both on you have to use this on both. Okay, then next one is Gantt chart. So before we are going to patent solve patent CPM, suppose these are the new techniques. Before patent CPM, there is a Gantt charts are there. This is very popular. This is also this charts are invented by Gantt. So the name itself has a Gantt charts and milestone charts. These two are very, very important. Suppose Gantt chart is one technique and milestone is different one. So both are used to monitor the project progress in complex projects. Suppose if you have a complex projects, then you are able to track the progress of the project with the use of Gantt chart and milestone charts. Okay. So Gantt chart is a bar chart which was developed by Henry Gantt around 1900. Okay. So this is developed by Henry Gantt in around 1900. So a Gantt chart is a horizontal bar chart used in project management to visually represent a project plan over time. So modern Gantt charts typically show with the timeline and status as well as who's responsible for each task in the project. Okay. So a Gantt chart is a horizontal bar chart. Okay. So it is a horizontal bar chart used in projects management to visually represent a project plan over the time. So you have to know about the each and every phase, when it is started and when it is ended. So in project there is a different types of segments are there. Suppose uh, you have to divide the whole project into segments. Then each and every part or segment takes how much time. So how many days it will take, or how many hours itself, depending upon your time scaling. Then you have to know exactly when the project is started and when the project is over. So each and every phase, how much time will it take. Then you have to know all these things very clear. So as well as who's responsible for each task in the project, and also who is done this part. Okay, so that is also very clear. Then the responsibility of that part belongs to that person. Okay, then you have to know all these things with the Gantt chart. Okay, then you have to see the example of the Gantt chart. So there is a X bar and Y bar. So on X bar I am taking the days after start, and on Y bar I am taking the activities. Okay, so just I am taking an example of, sorry. So this is days after start. So that is 0 to 5. That is the start. There is a foundation. So after that framing. So framing is from fourth day itself. Suppose the block is in from first part is also. Then fourth day to some 14 days. Okay. So 15th. This is the 15th day. That's why this will be treated as 14th day. So it is assumption only. Okay. So day 4 to and day 14 up to 4th to 14 days framing, and after that plumbing the 14th day to 24th day, and electrical, that is from 14th day to 20th day, and wall board, that is 23rd day to or 24th or 23rd day to and 31 up to 31 days, and after that siding is also 14th day to up to 30th day. And after that, paint interior, that will takes time is days is 31 days to 36 days. And after that, paint exterior, so 30th day to 39th, that means 39th day. And after that, fixtures, so fixtures are 39th day to 45 days. So then in this way, I have to know each and every phase, how many days it takes, and when it is started, and also who done this. Then you have to know clear. Then you have to know everything, each and everything about the project. So suppose if you are taking the, that's like it is a house construction. Okay, so I am taking an example, house construction. So how many days it takes? 0 to 45 days. That means within 45 days, we are completing the construction of the house. Okay, each and every foundation, framing, plumbing, electrical, wall board, siding, paint, interior, until within the house, and exterior, that means outside of the house, and finally fixtures, that means furnitures and remaining things. Okay, windows and doors, all these things. So from 0 to, that means from first day to 45 days, it will take total time 45 days. So how many days each of them will take in is also represented in the bars. Okay, so that's why this is this gives very clear about the uh, project or something. Okay, some task. Okay, so I think all of you will understand this example. Then what are the advantages of this Gantt chart? So Gantt charts are quite commonly used. These are very commonly used. They provide an easy graphical representation of an activities might take place. So if from example also you have to know, you have to know about each and everything very clearly. So it is also easy to understand. Then next one is easy to construct. Then you have to construct the uh, Gantt chart is also very easy. There is no any difficulty is there. You have complete data. Then you have to draw Gantt chart very easily. And after that, know what's going on in your project. After that, you have to know what is going on in your projects. Okay, so that is very important. Then after that, avoid resource overload, and there is no resources are overloaded. So because there is a better control on the project, then ultimately you have to know what and each and every phase in the project. Then measure the progress of project. After that, you have to measure the progress of project. Okay, so you have to know what is the progress of the project very clearly. So these are the advantages related to the Gantt chart. Okay, so after that, there is a limitations of Gantt chart. Some of the problems are related to the Gantt chart. That is, first one is this Gantt bar charts not useful for big projects consisting of large number of complex activities. Okay, so the Gantt bar charts not useful for big projects, not suitable for big projects consisting of large number of complex activities, because it is consisting with a large number of complex activities. Then it does not show the relation between various operations, and also it does not focus on various the relation between the various operations, and it is very difficult to find the sequence of various operations on the Gantt chart or the most probable date of completion. Okay, so after that, it is very difficult to find the sequence of various operations. We are unable to find out the sequence of the operations on the Gantt chart or the most probable date of completion, and also we are not getting the about of the when it is completed exactly. Okay, so after that, does to indicate the progress of work. So it indicate only the progress of work and not anything. So it cannot reflect uncertainty or tolerance in the duration time estimated for various activities. Suppose you are estimation, you are estimated sometime it will takes, then there is no complete, suppose there is no uncertain, suppose there is an uncertainty and also tolerance, duration time. Okay, so it is not an exact one. So there is something problem is there, some fluctuations are there. That is also one of the problem. And after that, it's simply a scheduling technique but not effective planning tool. So this one is only for remaining are only for scheduling techniques but not effective planning. It is a scheduling because Gantt chart is a scheduling based on the schedule. but not an effective planning tool. So because it not any scientific things included in this Gantt chart, it is only scheduling technique. So that's why this is not used by so many companies. So many companies are using the good one. Okay. So then limitations are, these are the limitations of Gantt charts. Okay. So then after that, milestone chart, another technique is milestone chart. So this is the why the name is coming, why the name like this is. So milestones, that means suppose if you go away outside, then going on some road, or suppose a bypass or some road. So then on that some roadside, there are some milestones. That means they are representing how many miles we are completing, and how many miles, suppose how many kilometers is remaining. That is called as milestones. Okay, so how many kilometers are we are traveling, and rest of them how many kilometers are there. Then you have to know each and every very easily through milestone. Suppose they are treated as milestones. So milestone chart is improvement over Gantt chart. So it is a little bit improvement than the Gantt bar chart. So it has becomes a good line between Gantt chart and PET and CPM network. So there is a good line between Gantt chart and pen chart and CPM network. Okay. Then every task represented by a bar in Gantt's bar chart is subdivided in terms event or point in time. Okay. So every task represented by a bar. So each and every bar is represented as a task. So in Gantt's bar chart is subdivided in terms event or point in time. Suppose if I had to take suppose before that in Gantt chart, the total things all will be represented in a single block. Suppose if you take this activity, suppose the framing is only one part, or suppose it is a siding is a huge part, huge time. It takes a huge time, and also it is a big task. So in this milestone chart, this siding is subdivided into some parts. That is called as a milestone. So each and every part of the big task is called as milestone. Suppose the this is one task. This is divided into two parts. That is 1, 2. Out that 3, 4, it is divided into say it belongs to same task, but is divided into subtask, that is 2, 3, and 4. And after that, there is one task, that is some task is there, that is divided into two tasks. Then it will be uh, divided into two parts. Then it is 5, 6, like that 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11 also. So for 1 and 2 activities, then 5 days will be taken. Second one, 5 days also, 5 days will be taken. And third days, then third for 5 and 6 are taking 3 days, and 7, 8, 9 will take 7 days, and 10 and 11 takes 4 days. Okay, so this is on x-axis we are taking the duration of time. So on y-axis we are taking the activities in job X. So these are the activities. ABCD is the activities, and this is the duration of time. So depending upon this, it will take, suppose we in our assumption it will take 5 days, and 3, 4 is takes 5 days, and it will take 3 days, and it will take 7 days, and also it will take 4 days. Okay, so this is the total tasks are divided into subparts, and each and every one is called as milestone. Okay, so then in the Gantt's bar charts, bar representing an activity is divided into certain milestones. So each and every bar is converted into or subdivided into milestones. They are identified with a major events, and also they are identified with a major events, and consecutively numbered, such as breakdown enhances the awareness about the interdependencies among all milestones. Okay, so they are identified with a major event, and also consecutively numbered, such as breakdown enhances, and also there is a breakdown enhances and awareness about the interdependencies among all milestones. And also you have to know about the, and also you have to you are awareness, you are aware, suppose you are getting awareness on about the interdependencies among all milestones. What are the interdependencies of each and every milestone? So how they are dependent with on other things, then you have to know all these things. Then network analysis undergone several changes and many variants exist. Okay, so network analysis undergone several changes. Okay, so it is gone several changes and many variants exist. And after that, so many variants are exist which evaluate the randomness due to imperfection in all human and physical systems. Okay, and also which evaluate the randomness due to imperfection in all human and physical systems. So there is some disturbance in the human and physical systems, then ultimately you have to evaluate the randomnesses due to imperfection. Okay, then PET and CPM continue to be very popular. So these two are very popular nowadays in handling the basic factors like time, cost, resources, probabilities, and combinations of all these factors. Okay, so you have to know all these factors, about all these factors. One is cost, time, resources, probabilities, combinations. So these are the factors they have to utilize. Okay, so the this is about Gantt chart and Gantt bar chart and milestone chart. So after that, there is a network technique. Some what are the techniques in the network analysis? So both two techniques are there. One is PET and second one is CPM. So under PET, program evaluation and review technique, it is called as program evaluation and review technique. So then first one is first one. So program evaluation and review technique developed by the US Navy with Booch, Hamilton, Lockheed on the Polaris missile submarine program 1958. Okay, so at what time PET is introduced? So then it is developed by the US Navy with Booch, Hamilton, Lockheed. So Lockheed is invented this method on the Polaris missile and submarine program. At that time, we have to use this PET technique. Then CPM, come to CPM, critical path method. So CPM is critical path method. So developed by E1 DuPont for chemical plant shutdown project about same time as PET. Okay. So this was developed by E8 DuPont for chemical plant. Okay, shutdown project. So this is used on that technique. Then both use same calculations, almost similar. Both are having the same calculation and almost similar. Main difference is probabilistic and deterministic in time estimation. So only the difference is probabilistic and deterministic times. And Gantt chart also used in scheduling. So Gantt chart is also used in the scheduling. This is about network techniques, PET and CPM. Okay. Okay. So then so what is the meaning of CPM? Critical path method assumes that the time required to complete an activity can be predicted fairly accurately. So in this method, we are pretty assumes that the time required to complete an activity can be predicted fairly accurately. So how much time will it take? That is the for that purpose only. Sorry, that. So given program and review the progress made in it from time to time. So this tool is used for within a given time. You have to review the progress made in it from time to time. Okay, so you have to observe each and everything. Each and every phase takes how much time. You have to know all these things. So a program is also called a project. Okay, so a program is also called a project. So a project is defined as a set of activities with a specific goal occupying a specific period. So the program, a project is defined as a set of activities. So project is nothing but a set of activities which a specific goal occupying. So with a specific goal occupying a specified period. Okay. So it may be a small or big project, whether it is a small or big project, such as construction of a college buildings. So construction of a college buildings, roads, marriage, picnics, etc. Okay. So these are all planned through PET. So construction of a college, how many days it takes, and building, and also roads, and how many days the marriage, suppose marriage work is completed, it will takes. Then how many days it will takes, and picnics. Then how many days you have to engage in, suppose complete the picnic, depending upon the places. For that, for all these things, then you have to use the PET. Okay. Then it is concerned with estimating the time for different stages in such a program or a project and find out what the critical path is which consumes a maximum resources. Okay, so it is concerned with estimating the time for different stages. So you have to know the time for different stages, estimation, where estimated the time. Then in such a program or a project and find out what the critical path is. Then you have to find out what is the critical path, and after that which consumes a maximum resources. Okay. So and after that which consumes a maximum resources. Okay. So that's it. Today I stopped over here.